he having like English as his second language, and certain things he'll say, I'll be like, what? And he's like, oh, then later after the fight, like, oh, I didn't mean that. It was like wrong words or wrong tone. And I was like, where'd you learn English? Just kidding. But
here in the United States when I was 21.
Well, congratulations on not only the show, but your marriage. So exciting. I mean, what has newlywed life been looked like for you guys? And has things changed since tying the knot?
You start.
Me?
No, you start.
Okay. I mean, it's been amazing. Like, what I like is it just officially made us a family. Like, we kind of already lived, I feel like, the married life in a way, and because we have Matteo and we already share a life. But it's just kind of neat, I guess, more so for me because my last name's different. Like, now I'm Nicole Chigvintsev, and that was like a huge change for me. So
huge learning curve. I have to learn how to pronounce correctly.
Speak Russian. I know.
So it's officially legally changed?
Yes.
Yeah. Very exciting. I love that. And I love the show. I saw the first episode, and I just cannot believe that you guys planned this wedding in 4 weeks. I mean, that's a feat all in itself. I mean, why did you feel like the need to get it done in those 4 weeks? I know the schedule is allowed and things like that.
Yes. Well, that was the one opening I saw with us. I knew different gigs that we had booked in entertainment, or with Dancing with the Stars, and certain things I had to go film. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Artem Matteo's starting school. Like, so if we want to do it anywhere, like the time is now. And at that point, we were really confident that his family could get there. And they had been to Paris before for the engagement. And we have so many memories there. So I was like, oh, this is perfect time. We'll do it before everyone, like summer vacation ends and people go back to school. Like in my head, it just seems so perfect. And in my head, I thought it'd be so easy to plan a wedding in 4 weeks, especially destination. And I was so wrong. Nice. I don't suggest that to anyone to plan a wedding that quick, but it was also fun and spontaneous.
Yeah. I think it's great. When you put yourself a certain time limit, it's kind of like you're forced to do it.
Yeah, you go with the flow.
And you base all decisions like, okay, what's available, what's out there. So I think in some ways, I think it was easier, but in a lot of ways harder as well.
Yeah, because you don't get disappointed at all. I feel like when something is planned so far in advance and then it goes wrong, it's just like really like you had 9 months to deliver the right flowers or make the right cake. But in that, like when something didn't work out, it was like, oh, well, we tried.
We tried. Yeah.
Paris is closed in August. What are we going to do about it? Like,
exactly.
We'll get married.
I mean, besides, the timeline being so difficult and certain things being, maybe already booked and things like that, what did you feel like was the biggest challenge that you both faced? And I know, Artem, especially your parents being able to be there, I know that was a big thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, for me, definitely my parents. Mm-hmm. I think we tried every best possible option to figure it out how to get them to Paris. And it's actually impossible. Yeah. So one of those things that I wish was different. And I think if, not if, but when they be able to come over here or anywhere close to here, I think we're still going to try to do something special altogether.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, it's really having to accept compromise and having those really tough conversations and knowing that you just have to let go of certain things, like leaving pots, on the oven or...
leaving pots on the clean pots.
He literally will clean a pot and put it on the oven. And I'm like, really? I mean, the drawer's right there. Like, that's one thing I want to understand, but I've had to let it go. I wake up in the morning and see a pot there. I'm like, well, at least it's clean.
Anyone else have a pot problem?
At least it's clean.
At least it's clean. But so, and then of course, there's more other serious things. And you see those conversations in the series and they're hard. And Brie actually was like, I think it's amazing how you two opened up so much about that, because I think couples do go through that, and weddings on TV sometimes tend to don't show that serious part of it. They'll show the drama, but not like those kind of conversations that could literally make or break, I feel like, a couple. And Artem and I had those moments.
I think we were close to,
Brie didn't think the wedding was going to go on. There was one point after our last conversation, it was pretty intense, to say the least.
I mean, can you tease what that conversation was about? Because we do see that possibly maybe there was some cold feet on Artem's side, based on like teasers and things like that. But like was there ever a thought in your mind? I know you said Bree thought maybe the wedding wasn't going to happen, but Nikki, Artem, did you ever think the wedding wasn't going to happen?
Me.
Yes, you.
I think it's such a, I don't want to say stressful day, but at the same time, you're making a decision which is hopefully going to be a lifetime decision, and that's what goes through my mind. And you want to be absolutely sure that this is the right thing to do, and everything should feel right, And I think sometimes you have those like in your mind, like, oh, is it like you're questioning yourself, and you just there's the moments where it happens and you go like, oh my God, what am I, is it? But then at the same time, once you think about it and kind of like just breathe through it, it felt right. So yeah. And when everything happened, like you're like, okay, this is exactly what it's supposed to be.
And Artem and I we come from very different backgrounds, and obviously we're raised very different. And even having that language barrier, we've realized there are things that we have to work on in communication. And that it was probably one of our biggest issues. And you'll see that in the conversation of like, I feel this way in a relationship. And he's like, I feel this way. And you're like, but don't I make you feel that way? And we just realized like we are so off on so many things on how we communicate or treat each other. And we just realized that we have to change that, because how Artem was raised, he takes things differently than me. And then he having like English as his second language, and certain things he'll say, I'll be like, what? And he's like, oh, then later after the fight, like, oh, I didn't mean that. It was like wrong words or wrong tone. And I was like, where'd you learn English? Just kidding. But
here in the United States, when I was 21.
So we have that. And it's like, Bree says it's like the most entertaining thing. She just says she loves to sit back with Pogrom and go look at them talk. But
do you feel like that it has gotten easier now that you're married? Do you feel like the communication has gotten easier, or do you still do you have those barriers every now and then?
I mean, I think it's still there, obviously. I don't think it just can like disappear so quickly. But I feel
like we're more understanding to it and we're aware of it,
right.
But it still happens. Because when you have a kid involved, right, you already have a toddler, and you have two parents that work away. It's a lot.
Definitely. Obviously you two tied the knot, but there were some like weird rumors going around that you weren't legally married. Did you see that? Can you clear that up?
I was on Watch What Happens Live last night, and I got asked this, and I was like, what do they mean we're not legally married? We're legally married in France and in the United States. So I think because we have ours confidential, you can do that. I think people went and searched and they didn't find it.
Yeah. I mean,
so this is official. On paper and on TV and in real life.
I mean, looking back at the night, what was the most memorable part for you guys?
Oh gosh, there were so many.
I think the vows.
I know, the vows, the guests, the venue, the first dance. Mm-hmm. Oh, you made me feel so beautiful. You did. And then just the presentation of the dinner. It was there were moments that the Parisians just really surprised me. And I was like, this is why I love Paris and French people. I just felt like I was living my own version of Emily in Paris. Like it felt incredible.
Yeah. I'm glad to let you step in and take that first dance. I love the rehearsal between the two, you and Artem, you and Gleb.
Yeah, Gleb was awesome. He was my best man, and he's my best friend.
His speech was so cute.
Yeah.
And Bree's speech was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did Matteo do during the wedding?
That's a good question.
That was a good question.
He did okay. There was a lot of drama around that. He didn't make it down the aisle.
Supposed to be our ring bearer. That's how you say it?
Yeah, he was our ring bearer.
Yeah. And it was definitely a missed moment. I was looking forward to it. But then again,
how it all plays out. It's like, I know, like, our producers were like, this, you can't write this. I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
You just, when it comes to parent life, toddler life, and then other family members being involved in those moments, you can't write that. It just, whatever happens and how people react to it, it's just, everyone's different. I'll put it that way. So It's going to be a good part of what people see on the season finale.
Got it. Got to go with the flow, right?
Yeah.
You know, Nikki, I think maybe a lot of people may be surprised that you wore your wedding dress from a previous relationship. So why did you want to do that? And was it ever weird for you at all? Or did you totally disassociate the two?
I totally did. And I think because I always had the moment with that dress with myself. When I saw it, when I picked it out, when I put it on, I paid for it too. And it was like, it was all something that like I dreamed of, and what it made me feel, the empowerment and the feeling. And so I held on to it, and I went back and forth with that decision. And then for me, and I think it's just more of how I stand as like a strong woman, I was like, wait, why should I not wear what I love because of my past? Like that just didn't make sense to me. Like I couldn't. Like Brie was like, absolutely not. But I was like, I don't understand that. Like, why is that an absolutely not? Because I'm in the public eye. So it's fine for someone who's not on TV. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's not fair. And I'm going to treat this as real life. But the one thing I did was like, I need to talk to Artem. And if Artem has an issue with it, I will not wear that at all. But he didn't. I was actually kind of shocked how cool he was about it. And I think everyone was like, when the cameras were off, I was like, you sure? And he's like, I don't care, like at all. Like Artem's like that though with material things. He looks at it, it's just material things. And if that makes you happy, that makes you happy. And he probably wanted me to save money, but then didn't realize I bought a few other dresses after. So
Gotta have outfit changes, of course.
I mean, yes, especially when you're in Paris. How do you not?
And so Artem, like you never even batted an eye about it. It was no big deal.
I mean, to be quite frank with you, like I kind of like even dismissed the question from the get-go because I was like, it doesn't matter to me. So I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal for people to react how I reacted. Mm-hmm. No, but like Nicole said, I don't know. It's like, I think if I would have an issue with it, they're just bringing some other energy going into our happiness and our wedding that why would we want to even waste time kind of like talking about it? So to me, no, it did not bother me at all, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
How's Matteo doing? How are the terrible 2 stages treating you guys?
I love it.
It's being actually overall, Matteo is such a sweetheart and lover boy, but you get those moments where like you're giggling, laughing, and all of a sudden you're getting slapped and your hair's getting pulled and they're mad. And I'm like, why is he mad? What happened? So we deal with the a-hole stage, you know, at times, but you embrace it and love it. It's actually, you have to make sure you don't laugh at it because then they feel like, oh, this is funny, because there are times when he's smacking Artem up and I have to walk in the other room because I'm crying laughing because I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
he really likes to take it out on Artem.
That gets no kisses. It's all about smacking and pulling and scratching. You should have seen a couple of days ago. I had like a pretty bad scratch on my right side.
He scratch him.
I'm getting all the action.
Yeah.
But not the one that I want.
And he's like a little parkour type of kid. Like it's crazy. He doesn't even realize it, but he's like parkouring all the time. I don't even know if you say parkouring, but it's funny to see it. But then when he gets mad, like it's wild.
That's
his
so
face
funny.
changes and you know it's coming too. And you're like, oh, now I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
It's happening.
But
so the talking and the communicating and that personality coming to life and just how they say words and stuff, it just melts you. I told Artem I could freeze this stage forever because they still are cuddling cute and have those moments where they want you like treat him like a baby, or maybe that's just me.
It's just, yeah.
I like to treat him like a baby.
Yeah.
He'll still let me like rock him like this, and then he'll want to get out.
And the legs hanging, and I'm like, this doesn't look quite anymore.
I still have my rocking chair with him. It's going away in a few weeks, and I'm getting really sad. So I'm getting all my rocks in with him.
Yeah.
And he'll just like look at me, and we sing Twinkle Twinkle, and he loves Wheels on the
Bus. I have to sing 3 songs before he goes to that.
Yeah.
Well, first we'll start with the Twinkle Twinkle, then Wheels in the Bus, and then If You're Happy. And you know it, and then that's like our like thing.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, they get into these great routines. I love it so much. I know on this special that you go back and forth about having children. I know you guys get the question all the time, but where do you stand today on that? Are you still kind of going back and forth about it?
I mean,
should we go back and forth about it?
I mean, I'm kind of like a one and done. I feel truly. I would love to have 2 kids. That is a dream.
It just happened. You know, like 2 kids, boom, it's too great. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not carrying for 9 months, so it's not really my.
He's really
decision
sweet
to
about
make.
that. Like, you get to make the decision.
But I mean,
Oh, gosh, great.
I think 2 is better than 1. But at the same time, like I don't know if a lot of parents can relate, but I mean, it's challenging to have a 1 kid, especially if you full-time committed to what you do. And for us specifically, like our jobs are not in one location. It could be pretty much anywhere. So it's tough to like figure it out, that process, because you also want to be a big part of it, you know, because you don't want to miss out those days and
Right.
miss out like times that he says the first word or he goes the first time to school. And, you know, it's when you look at those things, you're like, okay, we're like really trying to get a hold of 1 kid right now and try to figure it out, how everything functions. I don't know what it's going to look like with 2, you know, and I'm sure it's possible.
Really bad.
I do.
He- But knowing Artem's love.
But knowing me, it's
He'll be a boy, yeah.
because my brother
And
have
2 boys. Oh my God.
My mom had me and my brother.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just guys in our family. So knowing that it's probably going to be a second boy. So.
Definitely chaos, totally. Nikki, you know what I've always loved about you is that you have no filter. You tell it like it is, especially when it comes to your romantic life. Artem, how do you feel about that?
I'm exactly opposite of that. So I will restrain myself from answering that question. Romantic life.
You know, but how do you feel about it when I talk about that stuff?
Oh, when you
That's
talk
what she's
about
asking,
marketing
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Have to learn how to live with it.
He gets very embarrassed. He hates
I always feel like I'm not in the room when that happens, you know? I feel like even today, we literally was driving over here and they had a whole conversation about, what was that about exactly?
sex.
Right.
Oh yeah, how we like, you know, when you just want your man to like grab you all rough, be up against the wall, and you
And
get
I'm
those
literally
fantasies.
I'm sitting next to, you know, that conversation. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm like, no, okay.
Nope. All right. I love it.
Yeah.
Artem, you said returning to Dancing with the Stars as a married man has changed your perspective. So
Right.
will you be back on the show? Where do you kind of land in that one?
I love what I do. You know, I've been doing that for a few decades. Let's just say that. Yeah, if they'll have me next season, yeah, I'd love to.
They better.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely will. They definitely will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and congratulations on the special, on the marriage. I can't wait to see how the entire wedding unfolds.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much.
Take
Bye.
care. Good seeing you. Bye.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye. For more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.